Solomon, Director Martha Academy. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I want to talk about aesthetics. Of course, it has been triggered by some discussions that I've been having with a number of you, and of course, it's because everybody wants something that is beautiful, something that looks really attractive, and I think it's time we talked about it, right? We might as well talk about it. So that good morning, Clovis Katela. I hope you're doing well. Jibu Water is like a partner for people that want to save on costs of drinking water for office. Kambalekere view eyo. Good morning, Innocent. Today we are talking about aesthetics. Are aesthetics really that important? Do they translate to a good car? Just a moment. Good morning, Mr. Mugerwa. Muri mutya bange.
Yeah. Huh? What?
Time.
27, 26.
I'm the diamond chain choker.
today we are talking about aesthetics, guys. Do aesthetics translate into a good car? We can actually as well ask ourselves, do aesthetics translate into a good woman or a good man? For the guys that don't know what aesthetics means attractiveness, beauty, and so many other words that JK would use because already aesthetics but it's the best. Aesthetics is the best way to describe objects. Do aesthetics translate into a good car? Because ideally you would be asking yourself, then why are people complaining about why are people complaining about drones? Because drones are not ideally not cheap. Should I stop here? You have your money, right? I give you. You buy for me also. You buy for me also. They won't come, so you need to go there. So, Innocent is saying, if you want to buy a cheap car, avoid aesthetics like fog lights, open roof, plastic appendages on the wheelbase, etc. And you know one thing, Innocent, is that open roof is not preferable. Open roofs in Uganda have been known to have problems, even the small ones that are in the middle in the middle of the roof of the car. So you would find that majority of mechanics would tell their clients or their customers to not buy open roof cars because you will end up actually sealing it. So some of the things that almost make cars look beautiful in Uganda, because the cars are not, our cars are old, and some of those things like the open roofs don't really have spares, so they may end up being problematic for you. But take it, fog lights. I have fog lights on my car, but I don't even remember when they died, and I don't really need them. So the binobabita batya maridadi wokumipira. Ha, look at that Mercedes Benz. It looks nice, right? It's that's definitely an open roof. The compressor car. I think it's a 2-seater. Nebotankubira ngombe bana Uganda mwayige ngombe kosinga nomukubire ngombe akusinga nomukubire ngombe adabisa obubi nomukubire ngombe adabisa obulungi nomukubire ngombe. You people, good morning gospel church, the original gospel church. You know, in the show I've been shooting, I'll tell you which when it will be airing and where, but we have a scene where we talk about churches. And what's the name? The name is too long that the lady talks about, that the guy is a pastor at her church. I think it's original something of Jesus Christ and Miracles Church. The name is too long, and they're asking her, why do you have very long names? And then the lady says, okay, for us, we get the mission of the church and then we make it into a name. Yeah, good morning, Antonio. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Banangani atali bulungi tukuteremu essala. But I hope that generally we can all be fine, and business, however slow it is, as long as you don't close down, because generally things are a little slow. Okuja konga you are in industries that like food, industries like transport, people will have to move whether they like it or not. People will have to eat whether they like it or not. Good morning, Access News. Banange Martha Emma aliwa. Emma abera mu Kamoli ennaku zino. Emma abera mu Kamoli. Kirabika wamukakkanya. Muyinza oba mwatuka ku nkiriziganya. Kati nga mwatuka ku nziriziganya n'omugamba Emma, one of the terms and conditions, don't talk. Be there in Kamoli. So aesthetics, look at that Look at the truck in front of us. Does it look beautiful? Does it look beautiful? It's covered. No. But the parts you see, do they translate into beauty? The parts you see, because the parts we see are what matters. Because even the cover was meant to be part of that truck. The covers make it safer to transport stuff because the things don't fall out and all that. So is the truck in front of us beautiful or not? Is it aesthetically appealing? There is a comment that came on you know the Harrier we bought, the Harrier we bought recently, and then someone said it's not really appealing, and I was thinking, it came at a time when I was also thinking about doing this live broadcast, and I was thinking to myself, how many Harriers of that model actually look that aesthetically appealing? It depends on what color the Harrier is. The white ones, kare cool, but the ones in the gold color that we bought, it's quite hard for you to find one that is really aesthetically appealing. It's just like finding a black Noah. A black Noah, the old models, yeah, but a black Noah in the 2004, 2005 and above models, it's very hard to find one that looks really aesthetically appealing or beautiful. Even the Alfads, have you seen a black Alfad or a maroon Alfad? They don't really look aesthetically appealing, but they're still the same car. So the question is to you guys, do you think beauty of a car will lead into you having a nice a good car, just the way it is with our partners, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife? Does it mean that because someone is aesthetically appealing, then it translates into having a good partner? And then you have to ask yourself, why are all those brown chicks in Gazaland and all that single? Because majority of them are single, right? Okujja kungaze Gazaland gye mmanyi sijoma, okujja kuera nga balimba bulimbi, Emma ategeka mbaga ne Martha, nze simanyi bannange. As long as the build quality of the car is good, avoid bread and butter issues, because brokers use them to exaggerate the price. Definitely. For example, I'll tell you that what we saw when we were buying, before we bought the Harrier, we saw like 5 options. Of course, we had options of Nua, and then we had options of the Harrier. We had 2 options to look at. New one. We also had the Kruger, but the Kruger was very expensive. So we ended up sticking with the Harrier and Noah. All the Noahs I wasn't happy with. Even when the mechanic kept saying, "Hey, you're Nuji," me, I just wasn't happy with. I just wasn't happy with the Noahs, and the ones that I was happy with were way out of our budget, and I felt that they were exaggerated. And yeah, looking at the kind of person that was buying this car, I thought the SUV would be better than a van. So we stuck. In my heart, I stuck with the SUV. So we looked at the Harriers. We saw the first Harrier. It was really nice, new tires. The interior was okay. The body kind of looked okay, but the airbags had popped. The airbags had popped, and it had an accident. They tried to mask it up, but the airbags alone would cost us about 500,000. And yet this person was selling 18 million. Okay. For me, that's a deal breaker. 18 million. I have to, and then that accident thing. 18 million. You should be buying a car that doesn't have anything that you can point at and say, "Chino chibi chirunji." You're late. So, and then we saw another one that was in our price range, but then that one was clogged up with a lot of problems. Okay, it looked really nice. It was black. You know how black can look really nice. It had black sport rims. But one thing I found is that most of these guys that sell cars, what they do is they make sure that it's aesthetically appealing. It looks really nice. Until when someone comes to buy this car, they are pulled by the beauty of the car, and they can literally forget about everything else. So my buyer almost forgot about everything that matters when he looked at this Harrier, the black one that really looked nice. He almost lost everything, and I told him no, it looks nice, but the engine was bad first of all. The body was overworked on, and for me, all those were deal breakers. The interior was kind of patched up, you know. That's what looked like. But on the exterior, forgetting about the fact that the body was overworked on, it looked really aesthetically appealing. But as an owner, because it's baji gorola nyongi na feeder munji na ingera bikabulunji. So personally, I think that aesthetics don't really translate into good cars. Okay, aesthetics don't really translate into good anything. Whatever the kone moro kanga nunji na yenge etonya. Ndiye etonya, like literally when it rains, it rains on you. Well, I've seen. Don't even talk to me again. Discriminating against minorities. Good morning, Jerome. Remy Lewis, Abby. Good morning, King Daniels. Anaki. Ono jamu ndabika nga atajja musobola. Kankubeka shortcut one. The shortcut is a little expensive because then I have to put SC. But it might prove to be quick. But like you guys, I put new rear shocks finally. You know the shocks my rear shocks died in 2022 around June. I refused to replace the shocks. And emoroka nesirike yali ekubagana munango okubagana kwakenderedde ddala nekugwamu era bulijjo ebipapula mpayiriza byabwerere okubagana kwakenderedde ddala kati njagala gikolako nemaaso bajongere bagikole. Kampala bw'oba tomanyi shortcuts oyinza okufiira mu jam. Aesthetics, you know, these cars ojiraba katendereko ujambo. This is one way for the owner, of course, to kuramba his vehicles, because mukati bamanye moroka eziko ujambo za muntu omu. Okay, but also it's one way to beautify his car. So the topic today, guys, the guys that have just come is, do aesthetics translate into beautiful cars or nice cars? Oba tusinikire muri ebinyo kakati kana akakubo ono kakiriridde mu nganze sikamanyi obaka gwawa sijja kugwayo kuba taxi egenze yemwe yinzo begenda kunona bazisi obanga itwala bazisi sijja kayitamu ngene mpite wala gemanyi. So do aesthetics translate into a nice car? Should one look at a car and as long as it looks beautiful, it has a nice paint job, it has new tires, when you look at the interior it looks nice, should we take it like that's a nice car? Because in Zenga Atha, when I'm doing pre-purchase inspection, of course I know that most of you, my people, but I know that it doesn't really translate into a nice car. So sometimes when you come it might not be nice and all that. So it's in your best interest when you come. That's why majority, or literally all the people that have bought cars with me are very happy. There's someone that is not happy. Benz we are shortcut. When you come to a local setting, start being local. Utani matira ulio wa Benzi tulina ye finaje tukubide shortcut jakubide shortcut. So as long as you understand what you want in a car, because majority of the time all of us when we go to buy cars, we are looking for performance, not performance as in we are looking for a car that can go to races and all. We are looking for a car that can do what we want it to do and not break down before we assignments. Which take it. I want when another national ID, I remember very well. One no, now one. This is the place where I picked my national ID from. No, it wasn't before they put me back here. Shortcut ne mujanga basimbye waga motoka wano. Aesthetics, do they translate into a nice car? Like ngeyo Harrier mujirabe ya white. Does it automatically mean that Harrier is a nice car? Ngeyo primobo mujirabe atera bikabulungi nnyo. Does it mean that automatically because it doesn't look that nice it's a bad car? How do you guys translate it? How do you know that a car is nice? Okay, how do you know that a woman is nice or a man is nice? Of course, kati abakazi baba kazi ayinza nofumbirwa sebabi kasita sebabi ayogera ebituufu. Sicho. That's what you put in. Women are emotion. That women take what wants. Like you don't care about how a guy looks like. Huh? Okay, hi everyone. Hi Malay Martin Michael, Jerome, to see me Daniel. Now that you have talked about shocks, you have reminded me of the issue of potholes and sedan cars. How do you handle, man? No, but you see, but my shocks, you see the shocks I have in my car. I drive shocks for like a year. Which take it, I drive shocks for like a year, and after 1 year I be changing. But one thing I've realized that you see when they say go global but stay local, there are things that work in every location. Kati wano shock empia to the vehicle. Literally, new shock absorbers would work for like 5 to 6 months and they die in our potholes in Uganda. But when you buy Japan used shock, they are stronger. I don't know how that's because they have been used in Japan. I think because they are original. Good morning, Council. But storage compartments should be considered for keeping documents and cup holders. Good morning, Maximian. I find that the potholes are bad, but also if you buy a bad type of shocks, then you're also going to have trouble. So try as much as possible to buy shocks that are strong. That's one thing I realize. Otherwise, but I think they can drive bad shocks for a very long time. Because they buy humps, they buy potholes. And everyone shocks kastazi for manira wo. So but also the quality of things that we get in Uganda. Most of the spare dealers, but it into kuita wo. Areta chimuisa ochana tunda amangu amazewa de China. Go be Japan or whatever, but most of them get their things from China. Bakwesa Alibaba. Storage compartments, I kind of disagree. Innocent. Why? I try as much as possible to not keep documents in my car. Why? In case you run into trouble, you might lose all those documents. I prefer that you keep your documents in a bag if you have to move with them. But if you don't have to move with your documents, ziteleke either at your workplace or at home. That's my approach. Have you seen guys that they got into accidents and you find the car having all their important stuff? That's why I wouldn't actually consider how many compartments a car has and all that, because compartments can literally be put there, especially when you're buying an SUV and SUV van. If you saw but I also find that the compartments that come with the car, the dashboard, then there is this one here, the gear lever. I find that you can put then the door compartments. You have a lot of storage space. Guys who don't care how their cars look rarely spend on their maintenance. Most bad looking cars make noise everywhere and have engine issues. I kind of disagree, Daniel. Why? Personally, I have a rear bumper that looks not so pleasant, and my wife has been on my case, bumper, and no bumper taina chikola kumoto kudaba na wasirika tibajinyega bumper nedda tujireke okitegeera kalawo wagwa ali mu kuteka makutala ku bumper yange. Daniel, there are people that only care about how the car looks, because I've seen a number of them. Ngaye emoroka, every scratch he goes to the spray. It's like I've seen guys that only care about how things look. They don't care about how they perform. Me, I care about how the car moves, the health of the engine, the gearbox. Why? Because my family has literally to be very comfortable, and I don't want my car to break down on the road. But I find that majority of the people that have both, either or accidentally, it's like that. Like you see the Sienta that is in front of us, that's a UBH, right? It's very rare for you to find that UBH breaking down. It's very hard to find that UBH with a bad engine. Actually, if you found that UBH with a bad engine, it would mean that that person is a spoiler, because UBH is like 2 years old, right? 2 years old UBH. Kat UBH we an engine full. The owner just doesn't take care. You see that spatial, it's a UBE. If that UBE has a bad engine, then the owner just has to go for prayers. UBE is like 4 years old on the Ugandan roads. You'll find that Chikumi, which is a UAF, has a healthy engine. But also, Daniel, I find that health of the engine issues. When a car has engine issues, it means the person that has a car shouldn't have had a car in the first place. And you know, engine issues are also relative, I mean. So there are engine issues that will stop a car from moving, for example. Then there are engine issues that will increase fuel consumption. Then there are engine issues that will keep you moving but keep you friends with mechanics. Then there are engine issues that will never be noticed. For anyone to notice those engine issues, the car will have to first break down, and then they have to probably fix it somewhere, and then they find the engine issues. Now, majority of the cars on the road have engine issues that don't stop the car from moving, that will never make you need a mechanic. You see that Sienta in front of us, it can be having engine issues right now, but you cannot know. You can even buy it and drive it for 2 years without knowing that it has engine issues. Now, majority of the cars on Ugandan roads have that. The kind of engine issues that will make it costly for the person to keep it on the road, but they will never know that it's even costly. That's why you find that most people that own cars in Uganda don't even know how much fuel they consume for a distance. I put 10k and I go here and there and then I come back. You get? Because most cars have engine issues, by the way. It's just that as long as it doesn't keep someone off the road, They'll never bother to find out. You see how me, I keep investigating things. There are people that will never know. When I'm driving my car on the road, I know when it's having vibration. There are people that think vibration is normal. A car is not supposed to have vibration. Of course, the newer the car, the newer the model of a car, the less vibration it has. But we must admit roof racks on estate cars and roof rails on SUVs look nice. Yeah, they do. But that should not be a reason why.
Yeah. Aban, what's that?
Tell mommy to clean your eyes. Yes. Roof racks, roof rails. You know, innocent. I'm one person that has really never cared about I've never really cared about. Okay, I like aesthetically appealing cars, but it's not something that makes me lose sleep. That car really looks nice. Why? The number of times I've bought cars, I've realized that in the first 3 months you get tired of a car. In the first 3 months, your car, however beautiful, starts being ordinary. In the first 3 months, it's like toys. You see, in Uganda, whenever you see a traffic officer on the road and you see people defying traffic rules, you don't know if it's the officer that has told them or not. So you just have to follow. There is a time I was stopping at traffic lights and everyone was going. People were looking at me. The traffic officer was just standing there. So eventually I said, what the hell, let me just go. I also went through the traffic lights and nothing happened. People kept going through. So in Uganda, I think they have to streamline that. How do you know that the traffic officer is now directing traffic instead of the traffic lights? Kajamu kekole kankutte nange olaba 750 and I've not yet even dropped my people. So and the person I was talking about shock absorbers, I think it was the shocks die. It's just that SUVs have strong shocks, they have strong springs, and because the springs are strong, even when the shock dies, you may not know. Because it already has a strong system. It already has a strong system. The bushes are stronger, but also definite. I find that people that drive SUVs drive better than us who drive sedans. I think because the repair costs are high, but people that drive SUVs like the VX, people that drive like this 330, the Mercedes-Benz in front of us there, that van, I find that you guys drive better than us who drive sedans. Why? Repairing a sedan is cheap, which is okay, it's much more affordable. I don't want to use the word cheap, it's not really cheap, but it's much more affordable. Like where I spend 400,000 on replacing stuff in my car, the SUV guy would spend about 1.2 or 1.5. So it's much more careful when driving on the road. I'm trying to get you guys to see that Mercedes-Benz. That van. Vania Volkswagen, I'd rather buy this Mercedes-Benz. Definitely, this has a V engine. It looks really nice, eh? Looks really nice. Speed limit reached. I cannot go any faster. Speed limit reached. Mercedes-Benz looks nice. It's also driving past the speed limit because the man put the speed limit katuka the level yemo aye yengedeyo meters so kitegeza ki Salmina, how are you today? I personally think it should be mechanical health and interior that gives comfort. Kajamu mukaraba akawano parkings. Yeah, I totally understand that, of course, the interior, that an interior that looks nice will make the person that is in the interior feel nice about you, and then the engine health will experience being in your comfortable interior. An interior, you may not feel comfortable driving your car. Nayate gearbox, shocks in WV, then the interior doesn't really make sense, because the interior that sort of looks comfortable then will stop being comfortable, walk Beijing and all. Which take it. But aesthetically appealing cars don't normally translate. I find that normally when someone is about to sell their car, or the car traders, it's even worse. Hey, have road calls. If you go to the traders and brokers, if the car belongs to them, at all they are worse. They endeavor to make their cars look really nice, so that when you come, you get attracted by the lights. I'd actually prefer to buy a car that doesn't look really nice. Why? Because when a car doesn't look really nice, I judge it based on not looking nice. So I try to find all the faults in that car. Whereas if a car looks nice, then I'm biased. I start thinking that the person has been taking good care of it, and then I may skip things. Just take it. I may skip important details. Grand Yambara shocks with which car angle? Just know the shocks for the Grand will cost you about 200 each. But you can get at 150. So Kati, you may get at 100. So 200, that's 400 shocks only. But if you want to lift it up, because SUV. I lifted it up. Of course, that means I can't go as fast, but yeah. So back to Grand. I can't be sure how it shares with, but just know the cost will be about 400 for the shocks alone. If you want to change the springs as well, then that's extra. Kajamu buli wamu ekali nno tekasini kamanyi. What? That's what? No, green means go, red means stop, orange means get ready. Yeah? Yes. Agambechi. Kati go bato bitege na bitege. But uncle was a business car Primo. The Primo, but it was manual though. But it was really nice. We saw about, let me see, 1, 2. I think Ezimubazi said the ones that seemed affordable. The other Primo that we saw that was as nice as this one was being sold at 14.5. I know the 500 was for brokers, but let's say 14 million last price, and it had a bad engine. Literally all the Primos we saw had bad engines. Even the ones that looked as nice as the Primo that we bought had bad engines. So that's why I still stick to my point that aesthetics don't really translate into a nice car. We saw, because this buyer of mine just likes the Primo, and the other Primos that we looked at, the other Primos that we looked at were not really super. The Primo super. The only downside I do not like about this car is that the AC wasn't working. It had good tires. But the crack would have passed though. ku muntu atafaayo nnyo it would have passed n'abasirikale tebakwata, but means nga Arthur era bwe tusanga endabiramu ne bamuka crack katono nnyo, I normally tell the person buying the car, calculate that you're going to actually buy a windscreen, era ne windscreen twagitaddemu, then ne tugula brakes because the person was going to Fort Portal. Yeah, but it was a nice car, he liked it also. And I think the transfer is getting done in the next. And by the way, twasanzenga the owner hadn't transferred, but the person that needed it transferred to their names needed the person who was in the logbook wanted 500k to transfer the car into the names of the next person. So, but the 11 million that we paid included the 500,000 that, so basically if we were to buy and transfer for ourselves, we would have paid 500k to the other person to transfer to us. So it means technically we bought it about 10.5, which together, because there's a person that was saying no, I'm not taking that, but which together. The Primo is a nice car, but I find that the Mark II Grand is better. It's just that this person really wanted the Primo. I even asked him why in particular do you want this particular car, and he said he really liked it. I think he has been in that car for some time, so he liked it. I find that the Primo is stronger than my Corolla. When you start the car, you even feel the strength of the engine. Of course, the fuel consumption as well goes higher. Still, I like my Corolla. Still, I like the Salmin. Of watching the AC. Loan caveats on locally used vehicles, guys. Pre-purchase inspection is key in car purchase. Definitely. Because the car that has a caveat, it will be very hard for you to sell to anyone else, because other people do pre-purchase inspection. Kati gwatayagala kusasula pre-purchase inspection, ojagula emmotoka nga namu buli kimu nga bagibanje miliyoni 10. Wogigula olowooze nti nkikubye Arthur simuwaddaana kati savings naye nga emmotoka gyoguze ogenda jirya. That's normally what we say. Wait. Grand ku UBA 11 million. By the way, it's possible that you can get a grand at 11. It depends on how the market stands. It also depends on who is selling, why they are selling, how fast do they want the money. It's possible. Yeah, but innocent, there are times that we can buy a car that has a caveat intentionally. For example, there is a car a friend of mine bought. It had a caveat from Platinum Credit. You guys, I hope you know that Platinum Credit, when it's very rare for you to get a loan from Platinum Credit, put your car as stake and get your car back. It's very rare. It's a very rare thing. Normally, when you get a loan from those small financial institutions, they end up taking your property. So try as much as possible. You would rather get a loan from the bank or get a loan from a friend or a family member, and always pay with interest. Never talk about interest. Take them like 10% or 5% to cover their cost, because omuntu no genda obugenzi mu bank akugireyo sente ateekamu sente, nokuweereza obuweereza sente ku bank yo oba ku mobile money yo era ateekamu sente. So when you're paying back a loan from a family or a family member or a friend, pay back with interest. Yeah. And you guys get out with them. Okay. I hope that's it's always better to go to a bank. It's always better to go to a bank. It's always better to go. Yes, banks, you see that our banks charge 28% interest. 28, by the way. Yes, 28. But it's Travel life vlog, Djibouti. Good morning. How is Djibouti? You went past there. Okay, boys. See you. Nana. See you. Which cars do you recommend to buy if I want to transport a PS system? You can buy Chigege. You can buy. You can buy Chigege. You can buy. You can buy. You can buy a drone if it's new. But of course, then the seats have to come out. You can buy a box body elf or canter. You can buy. I think those are the cars that I box body. Buy any box body lorry. Hey, you need to go. You can buy any box body lorry. It will do a job, to do a very good job. People nowadays use drones because these days I actually find that you don't really need a very big car to transport the sound system, because you don't need a very big. You don't need a very big. You don't need to have a very big PA system to work at a wedding or something. Very small speakers do the job. Katiteweta kabiri ebyuma byedde byabanga ebingi. Okitegeera. The jam is too much. I'm trying to figure out where to pass. Jam alimekummalako mirembe. But when you think about it, there is jam everywhere. Wali bukoto wabaddewo jam nga mubi nnyo. Neno walabika wajjudde. Kajjamu kawera baaba. Hi, Innocent from Fort Portal. How is life there? Do you get some rain? Not the women with liking SUVs, but the SUVs women should not be buying. Like the CRV Honda, the woman is stressing to see. And who told you women that when you're driving, you need to see the ground in front of you? The driving should be in you, in you, inside your body, inside your heart, and inside your soul. Which together. Oba nani abayigirize mu motoka. Weta. Kati beerawo. Nemwe mwayigirawo emmotoka weta wano. Afuganga mukazi. Afuganga mukazi. Weta wano. I reverse where nawe. Bano bayigirawo emmotoka bano nammwe. Bayigirawo emmotoka bana babyavuga. Bayigirawo emmotoka bano. Dayo mu driving school. Vuga emmotoka ogende naawe. Tomanyi emmotoka. Abakola kikukubo bano. Mwayigira wammwe. Toyina kuba ku kkubo. Dayo mu driving school. Aba basajja tebamanyi mmoroka. Obulwa okuba alimu n'ekikazi. Ate abantu abatamanyi mmoroka bagula ebimoroka kati avuga kyawudi. Oba yakimutomeza. Abantu abatamanyi mmoroka bavuga emmoroka eziri reya. Eri gyali wagazi naye awulira ono amuli maaso yalina okudda emabega. Nadia, ayagala okugula Nadia ono. Waliwo yaŋŋambye talk about buying a car from bank repossession. Those are safe, by the way. Even if you bought a car from like a money lender, it will still be safe. Just make sure that the owner of the car, says it's okay for their car to be sold. Just make sure that it's okay. Hey, by the way, remember the money RAV4 we bought? It's on sale. A million, 20 million. We want to upgrade to a 2005 model now. It looks even better. I'm going to share pictures. It looks better. It's 20 million. You can come and look at it and bargain, and we see where you that drive for the. You go back to the post in the community section and see if of course let me get the current pictures. It looks much better than now. Nanyini ya inama itoke na jongeza okutunula obulungi. Corolla ogirabye. Innocent Corolla mwaka ki? That Corolla just passed us. What year is it? Ati gwe gobimanyi. But are there banks that don't consider financial statements when giving you financing options for a car? Of course, all banks will consider. But one thing I can tell you about banks from my experience, as long as your account keeps moving, you put money and take it, put money and take it, put money and take it, the bank will give you a loan. Which all they have to know is that this person makes money. Because you having an account that literally has 1 million year in, year out, they will literally tell you your account is moving properly. They are not simply looking at the bank statement. They are looking at now you have a bank statement, to your finance, but they are looking at how your bank account moves. They have to prove that you have something you're doing that brings in money and something that takes away the money. They don't really just want someone who has a million but if you're buying a car personally, your business, I would not recommend someone to I would not recommend that you get the car on loan. Now that I think about it, I drove for like 2 months. Passenger driver take car. But guys, avoid the German cars. Avoid them. Avoid German cars if you can. If you want a car that is different, buy Subaru. It's different from Toyota. Morning Arthur, can your brokers get us a good Vista Adeo? No, Derek. No, you can't. You can't get a good Vista Adeo VVTi at that price. It will cost you a minimum of 13. You can get at 12. But the engine might not be so healthy. The people that have those Vista Adeos with VVTi engines, and they are good, they don't want to sell them currently because, well, getting a price at 9 million and it's a good car, it's a rare thing. Normally it's actually better for you to sell a car when you have a car. Like you acquire a car and then you sell the old one that you have been driving. You simply don't sell without getting a replacement. I don't know if I make sense. Like you see how I have my Corolla? The only way I would sell my Corolla is if I got another car and I tested that car and I knew it was as reliable as this Corolla. I don't know if I make sense, because there are chances that I sell my Corolla, give me 10 million, and I use the 10 million to try to find a car that is as good as this Corolla, and I don't find one. That's why it's a good thing for you to not simply sell your car at any time. Kati naba ina Vista Adeo nga nungi tojja gisanganga ya million mwenda ya VVTi. At 9 million you'll be getting the one that has the 3S engine, the same engine with the Ipsum. but you can try your luck no lava oyinza okwesanga ngo oyinza okukigwako naye maama the current car prices are crazy. They are really, really, really crazy. JK, I'm off-roading. Good morning, JK. I'm watching from Fort Portal, Innocent. Yes, I think of a Hipsam. A Hipsam is a good car. As I talk about Nadia, buy it or a RAV4 old model. Now, I would recommend that you buy the RAV4 because those cars consume the same. But in terms of value retention, the RAV4 will retain your and will keep your money intact. Nadia take just because nobody buys a Nadia anymore. Nobody buys it. And why would you buy Nadia? At least the RAV4 is can do off-road and all that. And then when it comes time for you to sell, you will sell the amount you bought and even more. Then Nadia, you will eat the Nadia because nobody wants to buy a Nadia anymore. Actually, for me, if you want to buy a Nadia, I would recommend you buy the Ipsam Super because people are going to try to sell you a Nadia at a very high price. And a Nadia at a very no, leave the Nadia. Buy the RAV4 if you have the RAV4 option. You can afford the RAV4. Take it. After act civil, JK, no. I can't act civil. Omusajja muwetedde namu awete n'aleka space eri na janji kizenzi. JK, ebintu bya Uganda, you don't act, when you act civil bakulinnyako. JK, you have not driven in Uganda for a very long time. Ebyo bya civil byaba corporate. Byaba corporate. We don't. Bakulinnyako. Ateze moroka z'abajamani ezo nyimpi. Lwaki ogule moroka y'abajamani ng'ovuga ebyo ebikulu? Why would you buy a German car? Baby, buy a Corolla or off-road. I find that every time you buy a car that is problematic, like a German car, that requires that for you drive alone in the road, osanga hapo ojiwetera ko bwotyo no sokodda ku left, no mana no da ku right, no da left, then be patient. Okitegedde JK naye ng'oyo gayi abadde tamanyi mmoroka ye abadde tamanyi mmoroka okitegeera abadde tamanyi mmoroka nze mbeeramu ne maama Nana naye nedda oli enkola gy'abadde akola tamanyi mmoroka. Uncle Arthur, be careful. These are abantu banyiivu. People have guns and they misuse them. Bambi abantu abo bamanyi. Ero ye beba abantu abalina emundu mumanyi. Addeyo. Abalina emundu nga bavuga emmoloka enkadde bwezityo tebayiteeyo bavuga wanuwe Salmin. Manya abayaba babeera n'emundu. Abaya babeera n'emundu babeera n'emmoloka nga za bbeeyi. Okay? Ate nabo basobola okuvuga wanuwe. Tebavuga ebyo ebikubo naye oyo abadde tamanyi mmoloka. They have guns ate tebatuyiga kati ekikazi kikoze kino ekikazi bali kimukayanirako mugwa negwe Dickson gwomanyi abakazi bwe batukozesa ensobi. Mama my cousin brother yatomera ow'eggaali olwokuba yali atuddemu n'ekikazi mu mmoloka yange eno yennyini yali atudde n'ekikazi nga kirwana ku pasenja mbu naakubira ow'eggaali eng'ombe n'alemerayo sawo n'atomera ow'eggaali olwokuba alinamu ekikazi. Mugwe Dickson tomanyi bakazi bebakozesa abasajja nsobi era yavaayo yeewaana nkukubidde eng'ombe n'ogaanirayo nange nenkulaga. Ekikazi kikozesa abantu ensobi. The statement ovuganga mukazi eruma ate n'abakazi tebakyavuga bati ono tamanyi mmotoka asuse ne ku bakazi abadde tamanyidde ddala. I think one can still get personal car on loan and instead of spending a huge amount on once on a car and instead use the money for other investment. At Kati JK, it depends on what the interest rate is. The interest rate is like 28%. 28%. I find that ate kati bank says zigaba bobanga you're getting a car on loan nga bagenda kusala ku like your salary, it kind of makes sense. it kind of makes sense. Naye bw'obanga kati nganze omuntu ali self-employed, you'd rather go to the bond n'obalira eyo. Katulabe. Kangatire wano. Afanda ndabye nga tantegeera nange abadde anaatera kuŋŋamba okuganga mukazi. German cars are good as long as you maintain and fix. Nedda. At how much can I get Alex? Alex enkadde million nga 15 funny lifestyle. Alex enkadde. Nayikirabika Arthur oli wantalo. Tozikiza. Oyo abadde avuganga mukazi waliwo omuntu akisussa. Nzize n'emabega. Ne naakulaga nti ere moroka ye teyitawo. Ebiriko moroka etegeere. Emoroka ye million 5 gyoyagala okulaga abantu teyita wantu wafunda. Ekubo balikola nga liise moroka 2. And by the way, the space ye waganye kuyita. Mpiseewo nekigege bulu drone eri mugirabye school van. Tuyiseewo moroka 2. Ye badde teyitaweemu. You guys, abantu amutusanyi baddeyo mu driving school bayige moroka. Okitegeera. Baddeyo bayige. Ye waganye okuyita na ye mpiseewo ne drone. Tuyiseewo moroka 2. Ekirabika ndowooza. Eri line eyokusatu yene etambula. Fizine line 2 ndabanga ezitatambula. Oli matwale ganga Elisa Road kyebano. Andi kati jam wali enankani edi ebukoto abadde muyitirivu. And I know it wouldn't matter where you pass. Jam abagenda kuba muyitirivu. Kati ngongamba eno moroka eno Mercedes Benz mbuwe tuyitanze neyo kigege ndi maaso. Yo Benz eyitawo yokka okujja kamalala. Ate kirabika abantu abavuga emoroka za Germany barakati bamanyi tetumanyi bei yazo. Bamanyi tetumanyi bei yazo. Akujoga ayitewo ye. Tebamanyi. Anyway, aesthetics. Do aesthetics of a car directly translate into the car being nice? Nti Primo jiraba. Primo irabika bulungi, but there are cars that look better than this Primo. Does this car not looking very nice mean that the car itself is not nice? And would it mean that a car that looks nice automatically is good? In many cases, if a person can't take care of the interior, chances are they take care of the engine. No. Mark BZ have found people that wash. Nga yamanyi gaga teka mukwoza. Nenga bokoleze moroka bwot. There is a Nadia we went trying and then son doctor, the pharmacist. Ogendo kule moroka. Nadia twajitukako nga ajagadde. Mazimanga Nadia simbi. Bojula mbot, it was really nice. Boarding irabika bulungi. Kati tugenda okuba mu moroka eri na engine tokotamu kabi bubi. Kati ekyo twalirwadde tukigumira. Naye tugenda ovuga mu moroka ng'epipira nnyo. Tugenda okulaba wano wansi wa glove compartment nga ne computer yali evaavaayo. Ndowooza ng'erina weetuuka ng'olina kujja mu kintu kya computer okizzeemu resetting. Eddemu ekole bulungi okitegeera. So I find that in my experience okusinziira nze bwe ndabye ku moroka nti it's a yes and a no, but majority of the times it's a no. Emoroka osobola okusanga olinga emoroka erabika bulungi because utagivuga nga efaafa. But I've talked about this. Jerome, yes, bwekiba ayagadde kumanyira. Abantu avuga emoroka za Germany bamanyira bumanyizi ebiseera ebimu. Like by German kango obeera bifunga ntinda nga ate ovuga main. Naye kati ovuga emoroka ya Germany otya ebinnya n'amafuta togasobola. Ate nalaba abakazi baagala emoroka eziri different. Nange we navugira golf mukyala wange akyagimisinga ne kaakati. Akyagimisinga abakazi baagala emoroka ezo eziri rare. Ezo banga the first of the German cars sound strong, gajulira mulingi nenge moroka obulira oba mu moroka okitegeera. okusinga ku Toyota. Yawa abantu bakirizawo U-turn. Bannakyebandu awo abantu bakirizawo U-turn. Eno oba moroka kibanange. Jeke, what car is that? Evolution. Moroka chain. Yeah? It's even right hand drive. Left right hand drive, yeah. But I have found a perfectly looking Pajero IO interior and body perfect, but packed on stone due to engine. Yeah, the Pajero IO is problematic. Yeah. You may start thinking you're being bewitched. Nenga, no one is bewitching you. Watch again. Otherwise, beef with German cars this morning. The Audi guy. I tell you, by Daniel, I've driven a German car before, 2 German cars. I've driven 3. I've driven a C200. I've driven a Golf 4, and I also drove a Polo. During the lockdown, I had a Polo. Before the lockdown, I had both a C200 and a Golf 4. And I don't have beef. Those cars are really nice. The time I drove the Benz and the Golfs, my wife still wants them. But I've made a conscious, logical decision to avoid German cars. You see the way we are avoiding the Pajero IOs. We avoid the German cars. Engine ya Audi jogamba. Obe ya Nadia. Ya Nadia is a 4-cylinder. The Beams 2000 is a 6-cylinder engine. A 6-cylinder engine is more powerful than a 4-cylinder engine. Okuja konga, it's much stronger. It's much stronger. By the way, Harriers look better in white. For the guys that were thinking the other Harrier doesn't look that nice, Harriers, this old model, this old generation, they look better in white. Generally, they are cars that look really nice in white. Put them in any other color, they don't look really nice. You see, the Alex looks better in silver. Now you see this Ranex is black. I think that's a black. Doesn't really look nice, but in silver it would be looking really nice. Msajja wa boda obana ye mukadde avuga bubi ate avuga mpola. Omuntu avuga obubi olina kudduka. Omuntu avuga obubi olina kudduka, so that in case traffic police wants, they can't touch you, especially with motorcycles. Kati olaba wish zino nazo zinyuma nnyo mu white. Find a black and you'll cast the day you found it. Okitegera, most cars in Uganda look better in silver and white. So you find a golden one. That's why no kufa ezakale ezo zifa nnyo, because ze bavuga ennyo. Era n'abazanga V8, V6. Arthur, tell me about RAV4 old model, fuel consumption, maintenance, and how much I can get it when used. Don't mind about the number plate. The RAV4 old model, jitandikira ku million kati 12, a good one, eh? From my experience, 12 million, a good one. But it can go higher. It can go higher than 12 million. And the RAV4 old model has no problem. It's a very nice car. Just zinamu issue the gear, the diff. The diff gets a problem, and ngaboteka mo gear a corner do. That's a problem normally. Era okusanga RAV4 nga tekona kintu ekyo kitegeza nyini abadagira birira bulungi. Okitegera oba sekyo nga ba replacing a diff. That's the problem that I've seen with RAV4s. But we said what so bizant any day otiwa mu kibenzi njachi wamu naye munnange. I'm making conscious decisions. Benzi njagigula moroka yakusa. Bwe nfune moroka yokubiri went nenjisa mu lujja. Ngantandika okunonya Benz. After I skip my question, which 2003 4 wheel? Let me see. First of all, nga sina bana naba question yeyo. Kuba mdai kasijirabye. Avoid 4-wheel drive cars if you can. Okitegera ne question nga sijiraba mukwano. Avoid 4-wheel drive cars, especially if they are front wheel drive. Feel good music, avoid a 4-wheel drive car. First of all, ojja kwesanga enywamu extra fuel. Nenga ate you don't need 4-wheel drive anywhere. Nze kati mbeera mu kyalo. Naye nkuba ne bwetonye etya I don't need 4-wheel. As long as it's front wheel drive and you know how to drive. But nange ebintu ebisinga bino biba na ku skill. ate era ebiseera ebisinga ewantu waseerera obulungi n'owa 4 wheel tayitawo okitegeera nga waseeredde bulungi ne 4 wheel eba tekola ki ne 4 wheel eba teyitawo. To remind you guys, I do pre-purchase inspection. If you're going to buy a car and you want to save money and you don't want to buy a bad car, you don't want to buy an overpriced car, you pay me like a 400k. I come with a mechanic and we make sure that you get a good car. So, but you have to book in advance. Some of my days are really busy, and you have to book like 3 days in advance. So booking osasula yaka akasente ku simu yange ku mobile money otekako emitwalo nga 10 oba 5 no ngamba kati onaku bwetu lubi, and then I book. I also have to book with the mechanic. Sometimes when embassy is busy ate yaba busy okitegeera. So we want to avoid clashing. We want to avoid clashing. Sagala onkubire ku macha ogambe ata anagonga ina wano kati jantu nonye mmoroka ate nga nganze sisobola okitegeera. Mmoroka bino ebifiira mu kubo bireeta jam. Sienta kabaro kako nno kalungi. I have a friend that does it, is enjoying it. It's this model where Kodanga Alphard, you press a button and the sliding door opens itself. And the people that are complaining about the issues of the Sienta, I think it's a problem to do with handling. But feel good music, avoid 4-wheel drive cars if you can. 4-wheel should be for off-roading. But off-road, you don't need a 4-wheel drive car. First of all, maintenance because now you have diffs to also take care of. You have transfer box, you have also a gearbox. Maintenance. Given the car prices, Corona 190 is now good if one is doing entry level. Definitely, I think in a way they are true, because first of all, it's very hard to find a Chibina that has a good interior. Interior nungi. Atenga emoroka eyo Chibina bwe naba ne interior nungi bajja kuba bagiseera. Ejja kuba ya beeyi nnyo. Okitegeera. So but Chibina would be a very good car, because the Chibina you can get it at around you can get the Chibina at around 5 million. Kati Chibina emoroka gye nnyinza okugamba gigule ku 5 million, Chibina 10 oba ne million 5 emoroka ze weegomba zireke, buli emoroka gy'otegomba ejja okuba eya rais. Kitegeera. That's in my experience, and Chibina is one car that nobody wants. Nange sikyajagala. Ngati Chibina eyo yali emanye ennaku yange. Navuga Chibina for a very long time. Nnyo. Kati beko byenkwasaganya mu mangu ate ngende n'okumulimu nayo nitwale. Kia mugirabye agiwangaza UX ekyali ku bbala. Kia webanga UX ekyali ku bbala eba ewangadde. Wish avoid drive. Era n'abagabeza promotion bana abagabanga zi wish bagabye biki, era bagabanga 4-wheel drive. Okitegeera, bagabanga 4-wheel drive because 4-wheel drives so considerably kati bo baba importing 4-wheel drives are cheaper to import. Of course the taxes are high. Na 4-wheel drive nebo obo otunda ekumenya. Because the Morocco 4-wheel, you can even find a Mark II that is 4-wheel drive. But I wouldn't recommend that to buy a 4-wheel drive Mark II. Ejja kunywa mukujako emoroka zino empya 210 ezo tezinywa nnyo. Honda Odyssey, leave it alone. Ade, you have asked me to talk about the Honda Odyssey, leave it alone. In Uganda here, leave it alone. I know when you go to Google they say Honda is one of the most reliable cars, but here in Uganda, leave the Honda alone. Leave the Honda alone here in Uganda, because you may end up suffering. you may end up suffering, and I'm sure you don't want to suffer. Kambasibule wano. Kambasibule bagayi bangi. Leave Honda Odyssey alone. Let me go through the names. Bashir, thank you very much for being Ali. Martha, Director Martha Academy, Bita, Fahad, mwabavuga German cars. Mulekera ututa ko lujanje. Nze wempita nga tutawone droning eyitawo fuko kulabanga nawo eyitawo tuyitewo babiri. Clovis Kateva, Innocent, Edwin Mugerwa, Antonio, Access News, King Daniels, Remy Lewis, Jerome, Martin Michael, Daniel, Patrick Asiku, Council Wafe, people in the East Unero Yafe Council. You can inbox me and call the number. Maximian, Daniel, I got a Moroccan Range Rover, Simaya, VW Guani, Woody, the Moroccan Yagala. Feel good music. Next question here is Mavo Gadget Center. Uncle Salmin the farmer, or T Moses, Firstborn, Derek Fisher, Innocent Mpiridwe, Frank Waswa, Dixon, Aloysius, Mark BZ, yes, Abbey. Current fuel prices. The fuel prices are okay. I find that the fuel prices are actually very okay. Mafuta gali okay. 15 mwa 5. Gali okay. Nzana yayo mafuta agaka nane bitano kati nkugamba gali okay. Nawe natuka nange kola yange yagara kunnema. Mafuta gali gabbe. Ipsam kwencha asibidde olukoba. So what the mother wants me to buy a helicopter. Ipsam simoro kanungi, it's good for entry as well. Amina Asumani. Chris Da Vinci. After yesterday I saw someone who bought its new model UBG at 20 million. Is it what? Which new model? Yeah, Ipsam. Yeah. New model of what? Chris Da Vinci. New model of what? They bought a new model of what? IST new model. I think the model already overpriced. Never what I got a jigura pay. Either bagenda kuseda. It's worth it depending on who is buying. Which take it, but atikati emperi million asatu ngamo munana. That's 18 million. Yeah, it's for the people that like the car, it's worth it. Toyota chikumi kumi, anti Innocent chikumi kumi kifunanga namu. Neku million musambu chizibu. It's hard to even get it at 7 million namu chikumi kumi. Chikumi kumi babu sedan nabuo. Guys, I have to go, but I would like to remind you, I do pre-purchase inspection. If you want to buy a car, I come with my mechanic and we make sure that top biwa. Tukukulanga top biwa. What's your review on Nissan Magnite? Leave it alone. Tukukulanga top biwa. There are cars that I don't even want to review. They are nice cars, but leave them alone. Otherwise, you will suffer in peace. Nissans in Uganda, leave them alone. Yeah. Leave them alone. Guys, I have to say bye-bye for today. Tomorrow is Market Tuesday. Mujemu Yuge Marketing. Tomorrow we are going to learn about market systems. We're going to be learning about market systems. And you can also come and market your business as well. Tomorrow we start at 7:15 as well. I'll see you then, guys. Ciao.